What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Now, night 1 of WrestleMania 36 is over and done with, and we have a new Universal Champion as Braun Strowman defeated Bill Goldberg to win his first World Championship. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the 8 reasons why Braun Strowman won the Universal Championship. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Well, let's start off with number 1. Roman was supposed to win the Universal Championship. Goldberg was just keeping the belt warm. The WWE's long-term plan was and still is for Roman Reigns to win the Universal Championship. While he's taken a detour, you can count on the big dog winning the belt, much as he has done in the past when one obstacle or another prevented him from winning the belt. As we've mentioned several times in the past, the WWE has been rebuilding Roman Reigns up in the eyes of the fans ever since he took a health-related sabbatical when he suffered a relapse of his leukemia. With the fans cheering Reigns more than they have in the last 4 years, the time was right for Reigns to get the belt from Goldberg, as opposed to the popular anti-hero The Fiend, somebody who Reigns wanted to wrestle with instead of Bill Goldberg. Indeed, WWE fans are still outraged that Bill Goldberg defeated The Fiend, snapping his undefeated streak after a year of build-up. However, Goldberg's win was about one thing: building up a dream match between Dollar Bill and Roman Reigns. A match that for whatever reason Vince McMahon felt had to happen, and with the Universal title on the line. Of course, as sometimes happens in wrestling, things don't always go according to plan, and the ongoing health crisis led to the immune-compromised Reigns choosing to bow out of the match. That meant WWE had to go for plan B, as in Braun, pitting Goldberg against someone with the size and power to give him a run for his money. Goldberg was the classic example of a transitional champion, someone who wins a title for the sole purpose of pretty much handing it to someone else. There was no way WWE was going to have that 53-year-old Goldberg defending the Universal Championship on a regular basis, for reasons we're about to explain next. Number 2. Goldberg isn't staying around long. While there's no denying the nostalgic pop that Goldberg creates for the WWE Universe, the reality is that he can only stick around for a limited amount of time. First, Goldberg costs the WWE considerable cash every time he steps into the ring, and while Big Bad Bill is useful for big shows like the WWE Saudi Arabia events and WrestleMania, they can't afford him as a full-time act or even as a part-time act. Second, there's an undeniable fact that Goldberg's work in the ring is extremely limited. That was on display tonight when he fought Braun Strowman, using one move throughout the match. We won't count the jackhammer as he really didn't even use it. Yes, Goldberg was in a bad situation as he wasn't prepared to fight Strowman, but there's no getting around Goldberg's limitations in the ring. Third, the fans are still mad at Goldberg for beating The Fiend, and had he stuck around to the time when the WWE resumes holding shows before fans, chances are he'd get booed out of the building. There was no benefit in having Goldberg retain the championship unless the WWE wanted to go with what would have been an unpopular option, keeping him off television until SummerSlam. Simply put, Goldberg had to lose, which meant that Strowman had to win. Number 3. Braun will turn heel and meet Roman at SummerSlam. Now that Goldberg is out of the picture, and as we mentioned earlier, he wasn't going to stick around for long as he's a special attraction, the WWE needed a strong opponent for Roman Reigns' eventual return to the ring. Judging from Strowman's reaction at the end of his match with Goldberg, the monster among men is back, and the happy-go-lucky big man who danced alongside the New Day and battled Saturday Night Live actors is long gone. SmackDown needs a monster heel now that Brock Lesnar is over on Raw, and who can you think of better for the role than Braun Strowman? Braun has the size, power and intimidating look, as long as he's not dancing, to present himself as a fearsome wrestler and who won't be easy to defeat. The only downside to this is that Strowman doesn't have any big man babyface opponents right now. One option would be to do a slow turn, allowing him to battle sizable opponents such as Cesaro and King Corbin before going full heel. From there, fans could see Strowman destroy babyface after babyface as the WWE Universe wonders who can defeat him. Naturally, this will lead to Reigns' triumphant return and a huge Universal Championship match at this year's SummerSlam. Well, that is if SummerSlam actually goes ahead and this whole health crisis is over by then. Number 4. The WWE needed something big for night 1. Now, while there's no denying that the Boneyard match between The Undertaker and AJ Styles was the perfect way to end night 1, the WWE also needed some in-ring action at the Performance Center that would get the WWE Universe talking. As entertaining as some of the undercard matches were, the Universal Championship was still the big match of the night, at least at the PC. Having Goldberg drop the strap to Braun Strowman was a wise move for several reasons, but one of the most important was to give the first night a big event quality. The WWE achieved this with a major title switch, and hopefully it will help persuade fans to tune into night 2, hoping for something that is equally big. Number 5. SmackDown is lacking in World Championship candidates. The WWE found itself against a rock and a hard place once it knew Roman Reigns would not or could not compete against Bill Goldberg. With all its top stars already booked into matches, the WWE had very few candidates for competing against Goldberg. Even if they decided to alter its matches, such as pulling Daniel Bryan or King Corbin out of their matches, neither man would have made an effective opponent for Goldberg. In Bryan's case, Goldberg couldn't keep up with him neither in terms of wrestling moves or his ability to work a long match, and it would stretch credibility for Bryan to defeat Goldberg in a quick match. As for King Corbin, he has the size to present himself as a challenger, but not likely a winner without a fluke win. The WWE was going to take the belt off Goldberg at Mania, and it was just a question of who would do so. Naturally, there's also the problem of who will hold a title until Roman Reigns wins it. Again, the roster is sorely lacking in main event players, and at this point, Braun Strowman was the best option. With Daniel Bryan reportedly taking time off to spend with his family, he wouldn't make a good choice, and the WWE would have to spend time elevating other opponents, unless it wants to put Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro in another 3-on-1 handicap match against Braun. Number 6. Goldberg wasn't going to do the job to just anyone. Now, something important to consider is that, like any main eventer, Bill Goldberg isn't going to just job to anybody. Goldberg plans on wrestling for at least a few more years if his recent interviews are any indication, and as such he can't afford to lose his standing by dropping the Universal Championship to a Shinsuke Nakamura or a King Corbin. Goldberg might have vetoed someone even with as prestigious a career as Daniel Bryan has, simply because of the incredible size difference. The WWE had the option of using The Fiend in a rematch, but with Bray Wyatt fighting John Cena, that likely wouldn't have happened, and again, Goldberg might have refused to count the lights for Wyatt. With Strowman, things are different, as the monster among men looks like someone who could legitimately challenge Goldberg. Number 7. It sets up a Fiend vs Braun match. Braun Strowman's list of viable opponents is likely going to be short unless the WWE either evaluates existing talent on the blue brand or drafts superstars from Raw or NXT. However, one name that immediately comes to mind is The Fiend. Wrestlelamia is hoping that the WWE chooses wisely by putting The Fiend over John Cena, a move which should immediately wash away the stink of The Fiend's unfortunate loss to Bill Goldberg at Super Showdown. If this happens, the fans would be eager to see The Fiend square off against Strowman, two opponents who seemed headed for a collision last year, but who never got the series the fans were looking for. The beauty of the Fiend vs Strowman program is Strowman could work as a heel, thus not having to worry about being booed as a babyface against the always popular Fiend. These matches would also be the slobber knocker you'd expect from two monsters, and the WWE could stretch this series out until Roman Reigns' return without setting up a clear winner or loser, thus protecting the Fiend. And number 8, they would have buried Braun had he lost. It's clear the WWE has done a bad job booking Braun Strowman for the last few years, whether it's his all too frequent turns, his inability to win a world championship, a generally poor pool of opponents, or his incredibly short Intercontinental Championship reign. As we mentioned, the WWE Universe likes Braun Strowman either as a heel or as a face, and are willing to get behind him despite this bad booking. However, this shouldn't give the WWE any incentive to continue misusing a potentially great asset. At some point, the fans will stop caring, and a loss by Strowman tonight could have been the beginning of the end of the WWE Universe's love affair with the monster among men. Instead, the WWE went with the smart choice and put the belt on a full-time performer who can serve as a credible champion and provide the WWE with some interesting matchups until Roman Reigns' eventual return. Who knows, this win could be the impetus Strowman needs to become a megastar in the WWE. As fans know, the WWE has had many a muscle men champion who proved popular, and while Strowman is likely turning heel, he may become a monster that fans can't help but cheer. But there you have it guys, 8 reasons why Braun Strowman won the Universal Championship. What do you guys think of Braun's victory? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.